So I know I'm a little bit late to the Nintendo Indie Showcase discussion, but I always try to spend some time doing more research about the games that most interested me from these directs. And so in this video, I want to recap my favorites from the presentation, hopefully give you a little bit more info on them, and then also end the video discussing a few other indie titles that I'm super excited for that are coming this year. For more info on these games, check out the video description. I'll post some of the links in there. So first up, we have Blue Fire, which is a ninja 3D platformer set in this very dark world. And really, it reminds me of a mash between Hollow Knight and Onanaki. So first off, the main character resembles the Hollow Knight quite a bit in the way it looks, the way it moves with its shadow dash, and even the way it fights, with its main sword weapon resembling the nail from Hollow Knight quite a bit. Now the graphics, the characters, and the dark storyline remind me a lot of Onanaki. So this game is set in this region called Penumbra, and it's falling into darkness. On your journey, you'll find people who survived the fall of the kingdom and who will help you on your journey. There's collectibles, upgrades for your armor, your weapons, amulets that give you new abilities, which is another thing very similar to the way Hollow Knight works, and all these things are in this awesome 3D platformer that I am super excited for. It's another timed console exclusive on the Nintendo Switch. Next up, we have Baldo in this beautiful anime art style. It's an action RPG full of puzzles and dungeons. It was actually announced back in June of 2019, but in this open world action RPG, it's very much similar to Zelda. It gives me a lot of Zelda vibes. There's diverse landscapes and characters, customizable armor and weapons, possibly voice acting. We can definitely hear in the trailer some of the characters are laughing and stuff, so that doesn't necessarily mean voice acting, but it would be cool if they added that to this game. And the story revolves around this no-hearted creature that was sealed in the underworld by these wise owls, and it's about to rise up again. It's set in this world called Rhodia, and is another timed console exclusive coming to Nintendo Switch. Next up could possibly be my favorite indie that was in the presentation, which is the Last Campfire. So this came from the creators of No Man's Sky. I do know of No Man's Sky, and I know it's a popular game, but I've actually never played it. So if anyone's played that, it would be cool to get your insights on what you think this game might do. But anyway, this game was actually announced a while ago, back in December of 2018 at the Video Game Awards. This game is going to focus on a deep, emotional, personal story on looking inward and finding a way home. You're rekindling hope in a hopeless world as you journey to light the last campfire. I mean, even in this trailer, we can see our character talking to spirits, to stone people that have seemingly been frozen, and even picking up dead bodies. I mean, this is going to be a very tragic and uplifting story. The beautiful vocals and music I am so excited for. That trailer was amazing. Hearing the vocals of the singer, I think the music is going to be very good in this game, and I cannot wait. Now, Ghost of a Tale was only shown for a few seconds in the highlight reel towards the end of the indie showcase, so it is actually not a new game for Switch, it's just a port. My first impressions was that it looked like Skyrim, except all the Nords are replaced by mice. You play as Tylo, who is on a quest to find true love, and he meets a bunch of diverse characters and enemies, and I gotta say, I really love all the customization of all of these NPCs that we're going to meet, because they all look like they have their own clothing, maybe their own personalities, and that is super exciting for world building, and it just makes it more authentic. There seems to be a bigger emphasis on stealth, which is also pretty cool, and I really want to know if anyone's played this game already, because I don't have a PS4. I could pick up this game on PC, I guess, but I want to know if you guys have played it, what you thought of it, because it looks really cool, and I'm definitely going to be giving this a more thorough look when the game comes out on Switch. Now, the last game from the indie showcase I want to talk about is called Sky. This game was also only shown for a few seconds in that highlight reel towards the end of the direct, and this game actually released last summer on mobile. It's from the creators of Journey, so it's definitely visually similar. There's absolutely no text or dialogue at all. I think the cooler part about this is that it's an online experience with other players. Now, the game The main story, anyway, is about recovering and returning stars, which are fallen spirits of your ancestors. There are light and dark creatures that are in constant conflict of one another. For those of you who have actually played this game, let me know like how it is, because it's actually really intriguing to me. So those are all the games from the indie showcase that I'm looking forward to this year, but there's also a few others that I want to touch on. The first one being Crosscode. So Crosscode was actually announced for Nintendo Switch last year, January 2019, and it was supposed to arrive sometime last year, but now apparently it's supposed to be coming in 2020. It actually released in 2018 on Steam, and some people were calling it the game of the year. So this game is definitely got a lot of hype surrounded behind it. It's a 2D action RPG with amazing 16-bit SNES graphics, puzzles. It's set in sort of a sci-fi universe, and it's a first-person story-driven campaign with fast-paced combat. There's also said to be exclusive content for the Switch release, so we don't really know what that's going to be yet. And the game has been said to be similar to Secret of Mana. But honestly, I would recommend just downloading the demo for Crosscode on Steam, which is what I did, and that immediately got me hooked on this game. Bug Fables is another game that I cannot wait for. It's a Paper Mario indie game. I did a video on this that you can also check out if you'd like, but this game actually released already on PC at the end of last year, so now we're just waiting for the console release of the game. And it definitely feels a lot like Paper Mario, so if you are a fan of that series, you gotta play this game. I played through the demo and it was super fun. It definitely feels like the earlier Paper Mario games, like 1,000 Year Door. So if you're a fan of that game, then definitely give Bug Fables a try. Carrion was announced by Devolver Digital at their E3 presentation last year, and this game is gonna be so awesome. Carrion is basically a biomutant amoeba killing machine. Every once in a while on Steam, they'll have an alpha demo for a few days that's available to play. So I've actually played it, and you can check out the video I did on that, but this game's gonna be so fun, and I cannot wait. Finally, we gotta talk Hollow Knight Silksong. This has to be not only one of my most anticipated indie games this year, but just one of my most hyped games of all time. I cannot wait for this game, and it's so hard because we get such little info about the game and everyone is dying to just know more about it, but it's very clear that Team Cherry is hard at work on this game, making it the most expansive and beautiful world that we've ever seen. I still believe that we see this game probably sometime this summer around the E3 timeline, even though E3 is canceled at this point, but I think that's sort of when we're going to see it, around June. Team Cherry has already stated that the game's timeline has been pushed off a bit because of all the cool stuff that they're trying to add and just jam pack into the game, so don't expect it anytime soon. I think it's still a little bit of a ways off. I know a lot of people were telling me in my comments on my Hollow Knight release date video that the game is coming before the end of fiscal. Well, end of fiscal is next week. Sounds like that's not when the game's coming out. But honestly, I'm not worried about it. I want them to take as much time as they need to make this the best game possible. I do think we see one more blog post update before the game's release, so I'll be sure to cover that in a video when we get that information. But what were some of your favorite indies from the Indie Showcase presentation? And also, just what games are you most excited for in the coming year? We're still waiting on a Nintendo Direct, which has to be coming any day now. I just want to know, what games are you guys most excited for in 2020? Alright, I'll see you in the next one.